Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we're going to talk about this, the Flyback. Am I cursed or is it bad luck? Because every machine I get has a cracked Flyback. Why is that? Well, I get a lot of my machines from guys that put their machines out on route, so they're still making money. And I think what happens is they have CRT issues and they recap the monitor chassis, but they don't replace the Flyback. And I know why they do that. They want to get the machine up and running to make money, and they don't want to spend the extra $30 to do the whole job. In my mind, if you're going to do a cap kit, then you should definitely replace the Flyback too. So it seems like I'm always replacing these damn Flybacks. And of course, with the Marvel vs. Capcom 2, it has a crack in the Flyback. So someone did the cap kit and didn't replace the Flyback. So that's what we're going to do in today's episode. We're going to replace the Flyback and hopefully get that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 looking bright and tight again.
Okay, before we get started, I want to show you kind of what the monitor is exhibiting. So you'll look right here, you'll see I'm going to adjust the black level because you'll see right now it's really bright. And what will happen is as I adjust the black level down, you'll see it gets really dark, so I can't actually get it to be black and vibrant. So I'm thinking that's probably, like you can see, you're gonna get like a bunch of almost bleeding in the image. That's not always to say that that's a Flyback, but in this case, with it being cracked, I have a pretty good hunch that that's gonna get us a very renewed picture when we get the Flyback. So let's remove the old Flyback, we'll go upstairs, we'll put the new one in, and then we'll reinstall it. Okay, you know I'm not working on this without discharging it first. So we got our discharge tool. I'll have a link in the description of this. We're gonna put this on the chassis. So make sure you put this black clip on the chassis, and we're gonna put this right underneath the anode. And you know what? Did have a little bit of charge in it, but we're good. So we don't really have anything to do there. So we can disconnect everything here, and we should be able to do that safely. Now just make sure the arcade is actually unplugged. That's always a good tip as well. So we should be good to go. Let's remove the chassis and then we'll bring it upstairs. Okay, before we go upstairs with the chassis, I did want to show you this. This is a tube rejuvenator and a tester. And I was curious, like, how are the guns on this CRT? There's a red, a blue, and a green. And what I can do is I can read the emissions of each gun by pushing it to read emissions. So let me just do that really quick. There's a red, a blue, and a green knob. And right now I have it on red, and the red looks like it's still reporting as good. So the red gun is okay. So let's do the same thing with green. And the green looks like it's also good. You know, if we saw something in the yellow or maybe in the low green, we could potentially rejuvenate the tube. Now let's look at blue. Now see, the blue gun is actually not very good. It's actually in the bad. We can rejuvenate the blue gun. I think we should do that. Well, we do have a crack in this Flyback. There's no denying that. But we should get that as reporting as good. Now keep in mind, if we rejuvenate this, it does lessen the longevity of the tube. But at this point, if that gun is kind of shot, then why not rejuvenate it? So let's do that really quick. So to rejuvenate it, we're gonna actually put this on to rejuvenate, and then we're gonna make sure it's on the blue gun. So I'm gonna press and hold this rejuvenate button. You're gonna see it spike for a second, then you're gonna see it dip, and the back of the neck is actually glowing at this point. I'm gonna let go of that button. The neck is gonna be glowing, and it's gonna stay like that for a period of time, and then the light will go out. So you can see the neck glowing like that. When the light goes out, I'm gonna reread the emissions, and the gun should actually report back in a good status, and if it does, then that's good. That'll be good for us. Okay, we just finished the rejuvenation of the blue gun, so I'm gonna put it on blue, and I'm gonna see if we get a better reading now from the blue gun. So, it's interesting. It's in yellow's okay, so it's not perfect, but it's definitely better. So that's good. So what we'll do is we'll go upstairs, we'll put the new Flyback on, and then see how the picture looks at that point. Now that we've got the blue gun rejuvenated, and then we'll have the new Flyback. Okay, I couldn't help myself, and I ran a second rejuvenation on the blue gun, and it looks like we're actually in a good reading for that now. So we should, you know, for all intents and purposes, we should have extended the life a little bit of that blue gun. So let's go upstairs. We'll do the Flyback, and then we'll get everything reconnected.
All right, let's get this started. So first you have to identify where the Flyback is, and then those are the points we need to desolder. This is the Hacko FR301 desoldering gun. Having the right tools makes this job a lot easier. Once you desolder it, you're gonna notice there's these 3 plastic tabs. You push those out, and then you can take the flyback right off. You can see this one's pretty severely cracked, so it needed to be replaced regardless. I think once we do, we're going to notice that it's a lot better. So we're going to put on the new flyback. This is a flyback for a K7000 chassis. I'll have a link in the description. We're going to want to flux up these points right here. Flux it up. Then once we do that, we can get our soldering iron out. We can solder these on, and then really at that point, we'll be ready to do the reinstallation of the monitor chassis. And hopefully we'll fire it up, do a little bit of initial testing and get it fine-tuned, and hopefully it looks a lot better than it did before.
Okay, so I fired it up and it looks terrible, right? So the brightness is turned way, way, way down, or the screen setting on the flyback, and the focus isn't turned up. So we're gonna go back there, I'm gonna fiddle with that a little bit, and then we'll see how it looks. Okay, the top one's the focus. I'm gonna change that a little bit, and I'm gonna give it a little bit of brightness. Now what you wanna do is you wanna turn the brightness up until you see these raster lines in the screen, and then you can dial it back. So it doesn't look too bad after fiddling with it a little bit. I'm definitely not an expert in tube rejuvenation or anything like that, but it looks pretty good, all things considered. And I'll probably need to fiddle with it a little bit more, but I'm pretty happy with the way it looks right now after the flyback replacement and after messing with it a little bit. So not too bad. All right, I'm gonna coin it up and we'll take it for a ride. Take it for a ride. I wanna take it for a ride. But yeah, so the colors look way better than it did. It looks brighter than it did. There's actually some screen burn-in on this thing. So you'll see that burn-in, obviously I can't get rid of burn-in. Burn-in's burn-in. There we go. I have no idea how I just did that, but yeah. Oh, 2-hit combo, not bad. So I'm feeling pretty good about how it turned out. You know, it's not perfect, but for being an old ass CRT, a little bit of rejuvenation, the colors look like they're back. I could probably make a couple extra tweaks, but for right now, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Okay, before we wrap things up, I have some future plans for the NAOMI system. I have this NetBoot device, so I can actually play Atomic Wave games, NAOMI games, all from this system, so I can kind of turn it into a multi-system, and I'll no longer need a specific cartridge to run the games. The only bad thing is I don't have the NAOMI NetDim, so I got to get one of those so I can plug an Ethernet cable from this to the system so I can boot it over the network. All right guys, that about wraps up this video. So is it a curse? Is it bad luck? I think it's just the fact that this stuff is just getting old, right? So probably a lot of these monitor chassis need recaps and new flybacks. So it is what it is. It's just one of those things. If you get into arcade collecting, you're gonna have to get comfortable doing this, or at least have someone that can do it for you. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel, put your comments below. I want to know what you think about this. I'm really excited about the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and all the possibilities of doing NetBoot. Just got to get myself one of those NetDims, and then we're off and running. That's it for now, and we will see you on the next one. I'm trusting you right now. You're not gonna like lock me up in here or anything weird. No! You want me to go in that? There's no way! I'm not going in. Shut up! There's arcade stuff in there.
There's arcade stuff in there, I promise.
It's creepy in here.
A brand new Chasing Nostalgia is coming your way this Thursday, February 17th at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.